Notice of this meeting has been provided to the Co-Star, the official newspaper of the Borough of Belmar, and the Asbury Park Press on December 2nd, 2020. A notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building. To keep our residents safe and abide by the latest state regulations and CDC information, this meeting is being brought to you through Zoom. This meeting will run just like any other regular council meeting.
Thank you, April. If everybody could join me to salute the flag of our great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody, just a moment of silence for our troops, their families, all our first responders, everybody dealing with this pandemic. And I have to mention Christopher Ewith, who passed away since our last meeting. He was a boat captain down at our Belmar Marina. He was a resident of Belmar at one point. And Robert Ahern, who also passed away since our last meeting, a lifelong resident. Thank you. We're supposed to have just a reorganization meeting tonight, but there is just a couple workshop items before we get into the meeting that I want to go over. One of them is the parade. We were trying to work out a virtual St. Patty's Day parade, work with the businesses, try to work something out with them. We've had a couple meetings. We worked with the parade committee, but at the end of the day, they felt that maybe we just canceled the parade this year and work for a great parade for next year. So it's our 49th parade, and it's been a tradition in Belmar. The last thing I wanted to do was cancel it. We wanted to try to do something, but after talking with all the businesses and with the state of the pandemic right now, we're going to cancel that. And the other event we have in March, the Dine and Discover, we're not going to cancel that yet. We're going to postpone it. Hopefully that maybe we could have it in the fall, but right now we're just going to postpone that. But it looks like after talking with all the businesses and giving them the opportunity to figure out how we could do this virtual parade, they felt maybe it's best just to cancel it for this year. So that's what we'll be doing. The other thing that I wanted to mention in workshop, we have two agenda items. I want to congratulate John McGuire. He's going to be elevated tonight to DPW supervisor, and with John McGuire's recommendation for the number 2 spot, we're going to be elevating William Musto to the assistant superintendent, so we could start off the new year with the right organization in DPW, and I want to congratulate those two. So that's all I have. If anybody else has anything else.
Mark, I have a question. Workshop. I was up on the boardwalk looking at the plaques that are up there for the Build-A-Board, because our family's on there, and they're pretty well worn away. You can hardly see the names on a lot of them. Anything we can do for that?
Well, yes, I also noticed that the names are starting to wear away, and the designer of those Build-A-Board plaques that are up there also reached out to us, and she wants to design something that would be more weather resistant, and so we're already working on it. One of the things that was presented to us is to do a nice billboard inside Taylor Pavilion with everybody's name, but we'll be coming up with a few ideas hopefully before next summer that we could start changing some of those out, because some of them are starting to get a little weathered look to them, and you know, it's time we have to do something with them.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I have one more thing. It has to do with one of the resolutions. Is this the place or should I wait?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's just, I was just kind of curious on the one for the Emergency Planning Committee, why Robin Kirk's name is still there.
Oh, on emergency management.
Yes.
We were hoping that she was going to be done this year. We left her on emergency management because it's a volunteer position. We don't have to pay her, but there was a few things that we had to work on for the finishing up of FEMA during Sandy, and she had the knowledge. She had started them, and she has to basically sign off on I think there's 2 more outstanding items that we have to get done. So we put her in that position just so that we would have either had to hire her and pay her or use her as a volunteer so that we can just get those signed off on as a representative of Belmar. So we put her on the emergency management because she is able to do that as a volunteer. So this should be the last year. We should be all cleaned up, but she's been on for the past 2 years on the emergency management just to do that. So it doesn't cost us any money and we can finish all those up.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay. Anybody else have anything for workshop? That's all I have. Okay. Well, we're moving on since it's our first meeting, and Happy New Year to everyone. We have nominations for council president.
Mr. Mayor, if I could.
Yes.
First, I want to say it's been an honor and a privilege to have served as council president for the past couple of years. You know, traditionally, we give that position to the person who's served on the council the longest, who's not the mayor, because the council president is responsible for stepping in if the mayor's not able to run a meeting or attend or even be on the dais for any portion of the meeting. And everybody knows me. I mean, it's the tradition, and anybody that knows me knows I'm not necessarily bound by tradition. I think it's a really good idea to spread that around. I think all the council members should have the joy of having to step in and like run the meeting. It was really a joy. So I nominate Pat Juan. You know, I want to nominate Pat Juan to be council president. She's a good friend. I enjoy talking to her on the phone. She's really, really dedicated. And that's my nomination.
Oh, thank you, Councilman Brennan. I appreciate the nomination, and believe me, I really appreciate working with you over the past 2 years as council president. I know we're going to be working together a lot longer. Congratulations again on your election back to the council, and I do appreciate everything that you bring to this council. So,
thank you, sir.
With that, is there any other nominations? All right, seeing none. April?
Did anyone want to second that
Yeah,
nomination?
you need a second.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Congratulations, Councilwoman Juan. Council President Juan. I gotta call you Council President now. Okay.
Put my dear on. Thank you, Mayor. What an honor. Gosh, I'm really taken by this. Tom, thank you so much for the nomination, and congratulations on your win. And you've been a great president. I love working with you. Yes, we do keep in touch a lot. We're going to be working on some committees. You've just been great. I'm looking forward to this. I hope I can be as good as I possibly can. Mark, don't get sick. Don't go anywhere. Thank you very much. It certainly is an honor, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Tom.
All right, thank you. Reports of council. So, Councilman Carvelli?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Happy New Year to everyone that's joining us. Let's see, not much has transpired, but on New Year's Day, I was able to attend the properly socially distanced swearing in of Councilman Brennan and of the new line of fire chiefs. So congratulations to all of those that were sworn in, and again, welcome back, Councilman. I was going to say Council President, but Councilman Brennan.
Thank you.
The other thing that's been going on is the BBP has started having some discussion about what I've been calling like a restart, because they went into what I was calling a BBP holiday when the when the pandemic came along to not put additional burden on the businesses. But there has now been some discussion about how they're going to get started back up, some budgeting, what is that going to look like and whatnot. So we still want to be very careful and cautious about not putting any undue burden on the business, given the economic conditions. But that conversation is ongoing, and I will relay further updates as they develop. So that is my report for this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Kraken.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and Happy New Year to all my colleagues on the council, all the folks that we work with to support the council work in Borough Hall, and our consultants. And Happy New Year, obviously, to all the residents of Belmar. The Belmar Housing Authority had its first meeting of 2021 last evening. There's one vacant unit, but there's an interview for that unit this week. We anticipate that unit to be filled and occupied shortly. Contract has been signed for a new roof, so we're delighted about that. We're particularly even more delighted about the fact that to date, there have been no known COVID positive cases for residents who live in the Housing Authority. And all the members of the Housing Authority were very grateful to the members of the Belmar First Aid Squad who delivered a Christmas meal to them this year. So I was asked to publicly thank the First Aid Squad for that. The next Shade Tree virtual meeting, the Shade Tree Commission virtual meeting, is on January 20th. We'll be discussing the tree inventory that was completed by a contractor this year. And lastly, I'm just would like to say, we're looking forward to, and we're optimistic about a better year this year in Belmar. We have two vaccines that have emergency authorization approval by the federal government. It's safe with minimal side effects. Obviously, anyone who's receiving that vaccine should consult with their personal medical professional. But as this vaccine becomes more widely available, we encourage residents to actively look into that and get vaccinated. They're saying that side effects, any potential side effects of the vaccine are certainly much less than potentially contracting the virus. Looking very forward to 2021 and getting our community back to normal, supporting our Tourism Commission and our BBP as they look at new and innovative ways to attract visitors to our town to support our business community and our residents. And thankful to all the volunteers that we have and all the various commissions and boards and whatnot that are being appointed this evening, as well as our fire department and our first aid squad and our water rescue and our police department and all those that work so hard to support our town and keep our residents safe. We're grateful. I mean, we are truly a community of volunteers, of people who care about this town, who are not shy to provide the council feedback and share their opinions, which are often useful and help us and guide us in the decisions that we make. So optimistic about a better 2021 and grateful to all the support that we have and all the volunteers that care so deeply about our community.
Thank you. Councilman Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A happy new year to everybody. Thank you all. I don't really have much of a report, but I do have to give a big 11th Avenue shout out to Hook and Ladder, and to the Jeanette Higgins and her family, wonderful, and their wonderful holiday truck decorated in their driveway. They sponsored the like a decorating contest for 11th Avenue. Now, 11th Avenue is no slouch when it comes to decorations at the holiday times, but you could definitely see that they stepped it up a notch. It was wonderful driving down my block. And I want to also thank the businesses who donated the prizes and all the organizers. And I hope this is the kind of thing we can do every year from now on. It would be really nice to see something like this expand, but I'm really glad we came up with it this year of all years. Yeah, I'm not going to miss 2020. 2021 is going to be a much better year. I can tell everybody, I have to apologize. I don't have the URL, but if you nj.gov, you can sign up to get notified when it's your turn to get your vaccination. I signed myself up today. My wife and I both signed up. They'll ask you if you have any of the health factors that make you more of a risk, that move you up in the line to get the vaccine a little sooner. They'll ask if you're any of the essential workers. You'll be able to check that off. And then when it's time and they have a place, they'll notify you. Hopefully there'll be more places to get vaccinated than just the couple of places they're using now. Big rollout would really be great. Let's see what happens in the next 8 weeks. I would really, and again, I'm with Councilman McCracken. The downside to the vaccine is that you might feel bad for a day. Very few people have had any reactions. Both of them that we have now and the ones that are coming down the pike are all very, very effective at preventing you from getting sick. And I really encourage everyone to do that. So if you can sign up, I'll see if we can get that URL. Maybe we can get it on the borough website so people can click on it and just go right to nj.gov. I know it's in there, and I really, again, strongly recommend that. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you. And Council President Juan.
Wow, I have to get used to that. Thank you, Mark. Happy New Year, everybody. So happy to see 2020 go. And I just want to congratulate everybody tonight who's being appointed to positions. We've had a real tough year, and I'm really looking forward to this new year. All the work that everybody's done over this past year has been amazing. And I'm sure this year is going to be much better. I say I've been appointed to a couple new committees, looking forward to that. The committees I'm currently on, I'm going to step up. We have a lot of things to do. I'm really looking forward to work. We're going to do a little expansion on the community policing. And I just have to go along with Tom Brennan on this vaccine. I know I was a little reluctant. Don't mind saying I'm high risk. But this lockdown has been worse than anything I think I've ever been through. I'm a people person. I need to be outside. And as much as I love seeing all you guys on Zoom, it's just much nicer to see you in person. I intend to get the vaccine. I don't care what the side effect is. It can't be any worse than what I'm going through right now, being locked in. So think about it. People, I know some people are reluctant, but please sign up. Let's get rid of this thing and let's get back to normal. Thank you very much. I look forward to serving the council and members of the council and residents of Belmar. I look forward to doing everything I can for you. Thanks very much.
Thank you. I just want to echo Councilman McCracken, everybody that we're appointing tonight, and volunteering on all the boards that we have, and everybody that volunteers in our town that gives moments of their time, as little or as much as it is. I for one, really do appreciate it. So we have a lot of appointments on tonight, and I want to thank everybody that is volunteering, even if they're not being appointed tonight and their time isn't up, but they are still volunteering. I want to thank them also. We've had a year that nobody could ever foresee coming. So with this pandemic, and I want to thank the residents, everybody that in town that did their part to try to prevent the spread of this. I know the numbers are spiking a little bit, but as far as our town, the percentage of people that are here compared to the people that have got it, and I'm not downplaying anything, it really shows of all the hard work that everybody did to really try to stay safe. So I do appreciate everybody that worked so hard doing that. I know it's been a difficult year. We're in 2021 now, and believe me, I hope this vaccine is getting out there and we can get this pandemic behind us. With that being said, I look forward to this year. We have a lot of exciting things coming up that hopefully we can put into place, especially with the basketball courts being redone. We have now secured the money to do the volleyball and pickleball courts, so we're going to be getting that done, and hopefully our DPW, our recreation director, not DPW director, our recreation director will be setting up programs for our youth for both of those areas, as far as like little basketball camps and different things that we could do outside the summer to try to still keep everybody safe, but have organized programs for them. Because I know that with the schools and the positions they are, and kids not playing sports or anything like that, to at least give them some opportunity to get out in the fresh air and have some instruction during this summer. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully it'll work out. Time will tell. Nobody has a crystal ball, but some of those things that we are working on for this summer. And of course, we've already been in talks about what's going on with the beach and trying to get that organized. And because, you know, the older you get, time moves faster than you can ever believe. So before you know it, we'll be in the summer. So we're working on some of that, and we're looking forward to 2021. Hopefully it'll be better than 2020. But so that's all I have. We're going to move on to the committees of council. I know I didn't reach out to anybody. They're all the same for this year. Does anybody have any changes they want to make, or is everybody good with the committees? Okay, nobody's commenting, so I think we're good. April, do we got to vote on them or just move along? Okay, so we're good. So we're going on to the consent agenda. There's no public comment on these tonight because they're all appointments. So April?
Can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second,
Councilman Carvelli?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan?
yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes. Okay. We have no ordinances. Usually on this meeting here that we just adjourn the meeting because it's just a reorganization meeting. But tonight I'm going to allow any kind of public comment if anybody wants to talk about anything.
Stand by. And
For
we-
members of the public, if you could just remember to please state your name and address before speaking. Thank you.
all right, stand by. Going for Sherry, stand by. Go ahead.
Hear me?
I hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
Sherry Russo, 1218 Briarwood Road in Belmar. One question I have is, I see that Spring Lake had written down that it has sold out all its beach badges for the year, and that Avon is putting a pause on selling its beach badges as of now. I was wondering if we had any kind of plan in the works, or if you've talked to either of those mayors.
I haven't talked to either one of those mayors. I know that Spring Lake is putting a limit on the selling of their season beach badges. I didn't know what Avon was doing. We're watching the numbers before we make a decision on our season beach badges.
All right, and my one other question is, last month I had asked Administrator Kirschenbaum about the beach revenue, in which he didn't know, and I looked it up online, and I saw that in 2018 we made 3.2 million. In 2019 our revenue was 3.6 million, and in 2020 our revenue was 5.062 million, which would be 1.379 million more than the previous year. And my question is, did our expenses triple?
Well, I know one thing that's driving expenses a little bit is every year that the minimum wage is going up. So we're keeping up with that. As far as expenses, I think we do have some surplus left, but with that extra money, we ordered the 2 new bathrooms that we need down at the beach that were rotting underneath and the floors rotted out. So we need 2 bathrooms down there. We're using some of the money that we raised for that. And with the change of the way we're selling badges this year, we're using some of the money for that. But there is some surplus left.
How much are the bathrooms? Just out of curiosity, I didn't see that.
I believe they're about 150,000 a piece, but don't quote me on that. I don't have the figures
All right.
right in front of me. We're going out for bid on it, so it could be cheaper than that. But I think
Right.
somewhere around 150,000 a piece.
All right, that would leave like $1 million. I mean, that's a little bit more than change. I think $1 million extra would be from the difference between the year before. So, all right, thank you very much for your answer.
Okay.
Thank you. And now we're going to Linda, stand by.
Good evening to everybody.
Hi, Linda.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I have a question. Pat Juan brought up an interesting point about feeling a little socially deprived. Would it be possible to have those participating in the meetings have their pictures displayed as well, so we have a sense of community? I know at Keller Williams, they put all our pictures up when we participate in a meeting, and you know, they're truly thumbnail sketches, and the person speaking gets a large block. And I think it would really help our sense of community at this difficult time. I mean, you know, what are we, 9 months and still continuing in this state? So it would be nice to see who's around and who's interested in moving our community forward. Maybe John Sabia could work some magic here.
We'll ask him. We'll see.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
John is there running the show, right?
Just making a note, so I'm just writing that down. One moment.
Yeah.
And coming to Gerald, stand by. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Jerry Buckafusco, 409 Fifth Avenue. First, I'd like to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
On the council and all the residents that are listening. I actually have a comment on one of the resolutions. And I was kind of taken aback that there was no comments permitted on the resolutions. I don't know where that rule comes from, but it just seems a little presumptuous that a member of the public might not want to comment. I mean, it's bad enough we have consent agendas that we have, but you know, I'd be curious as to where that practice has come in. But anyway, the resolution I wanted to comment on was resolution 2021-22, which was the appointing of the directors of departments as established by Article 3, blah, 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 okay? The second paragraph there, and I just want to clarify this, I think, for myself and perhaps the residents that are listening. It says that whereas Mayor Walsifer has advised the Borough Council of his appointments of certain individuals to head each department, and they shall be called directors. Now, I'm assuming that that term directors is not, you're not referring to their official civil service titles when you say that they're all going to be called directors. Is that correct?
These are the positions that we set up through civil service, and we broke up some of the departments. Some of them fall right underneath DPW supervisor. The business administrator could tell you how that Civil Service had set them up. He was working closely with Civil Service to set everything up to streamline what we do. So Business Administrator Kirschenbaum, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Bonifusco, what happens is we went from 6 departments to, I believe, 21. These are 12 of the areas where we used our consultant and civil service to be more basically productive with our staff. So as far as director goes, they're non-competitive, they're non-civil service titles that's by name only, but they fall under each category. Some fall under Department of Public Works, some fall under the administration section, some fall under finance. So basically, it's just to put the workforce in place to be more effective for the borough.
I understand your statement, but it doesn't answer my question. I'll be a little more direct. In other words, Mr. Kirschenbaum, your title is Borough Administrator, correct?
Yes, it is.
So you're not the
Business
director.
administrator.
You're not going to be called Director of Administration.
That's correct.
Okay, and for example, Ms. Claudio is the municipal clerk. She's not going to be called the Director of Municipal Clerk.
That's correct.
Right? So that second sentence there, that second paragraph where it says they shall be called directors is really just a, I'll call it a naming convention.
Formality based on our consultants.
Right, but that's not their official title.
That's correct.
So in other words, Mr. Heisman's title is not Director of Buildings and Grounds.
He works for the Department of Buildings and Grounds under the Department of Public Works.
No, but I mean, his title is not Director of Building and Grounds.
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to get that straight. The other thing that troubled me a little bit is, I know you went to great lengths to straighten things out with civil service, which led to the ordinance 2038, which made the changes to this particular statute. And in that, if you look at the statute, when you get to, it lists, from A to F, Department of Administration, and finally F is Department of Recreation. But then when we get down to the next, I guess it's 6 or 7 or 8 items, the terms are just, G is Public Library, H is Purchasing, I is Human Resources, etc. But yet on the way the resolution was drafted, those items now say Department of Purchasing, Department of Human Resources, Department of Special Operations. Can you just confirm for me that that's really not the way that they should be listed?
That's the way it should be listed. Others will be listed in the future based on our consultant.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
How about now?
I'm sorry.
That's good. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. That's what they're listed as of now. We'll be doing some more as we move forward and meet with Department of Public Works Supervisor, the CFO. So those positions will be filled. That's what our consultant said in civil service, to make it more amicable for us to have our workforce work better for the borough, if that makes sense.
You're cutting out, Ed.
Check your wire.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's good.
Can't hear you.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
Well, anyway, my question, I think you missed the point of it, is though that the advice you got from civil service, for example, on purchasing, the original ordinance just lists that purchasing, and now in this resolution, it's listed as Department of Purchasing. So is it correct to say that civil service just had you use the term purchasing?
April? No, whatever our consultant told us to include pursuant to civil service guideline, that's what we did.
Okay, but the ordinance then is not consistent with what your consultant said, because the ordinance says purchasing, and in this resolution, it says Department of Purchasing. So which is the correct one?
It's the creation of departments within the chain of command within the borough of Belmar. It is a work in progress. We will be looking towards different changes as we move forward. This hasn't been changed since 1991. We're trying to make all the changes to be more efficient for our workforce. It's an ongoing process. So we're going to continue to work As you know, civil service itself is really all working from home, and we're not getting much feedback. Our consultant is working with us, and we're going to be making changes. But we're going to do it for the better of the borough, to make sure that we're up to speed in 2021, that our workforce is properly documented under civil service guidelines, which they have not been properly placed into their positions since we took over. We're now trying to get them into the proper titles, and it's an ongoing process.
All right, I'm sorry, but I know you missed my point completely.
I don't miss your point.
Oh, yes, you did, because you passed an ordinance and you said that you had dealt with civil service to, restructure the ordinance and create this ordinance 2020-38, which in fact was passed not in 1991, but on November 4th, 2020. This is a new ordinance. So the new ordinance should reflect what the latest and greatest is from civil service. The only point I'm trying to make is that the resolution does not follow the ordinance. Okay, and if you could just agree with me to that, then this would be over.
Okay, we'll take a look at it and see exactly what it is, what the problem is.
Because, I'm going to write to civil service and I'm going to ask them what they told you. And they have things in writing, which I understand, in many instances, Belmar does not. So, I'm going to confirm it either way.
Okay.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stand by. And we're going to Sharon, stand by.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Happy New Year, Sharon Russell, 11th Avenue in Belmar. I have a couple of things. One for Councilwoman Juan. Hi, Happy New Year. I just wanted to let you know, as the member of the ADA, that the library, the Belmar Library, is now going to be having a new program that I thought would be very interesting to your group specifically. And it's going to be for visually impaired. And Lewis is working on it right now. So I just wanted to make you aware of it so that you could get in touch with him. He should be presenting
very much.
Yeah,
Great.
he should be presenting at the next council meeting, but I wanted to make you aware of it now so that you would know the residents that would benefit from it the most.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Sharon.
You're very welcome. The second point I had, and I know we're not supposed to be talking about resolutions, but I got a little concerned. Resolution 2021 number 16, which has to do with the Belmar Library. There were several members that are not on there. And so I just wanted to see if maybe they were just left off or had people resigned. I wasn't sure which, but we're missing 4 names off of there. So
Sharon, those are just the names that are reappointed whose terms expired.
okay, so even the
they're
ones
still on.
Okay, because I looked at the one from 2019 and I saw all the names were on there and all of their expiration dates, but this one only had the new ones. So I just wanted to make
These are
sure.
the ones that need to be reappointed this year. The other ones are still on. They're not up for reappointment yet.
Okay, and thank you, Mayor Walsifer, for your liaison. I truly appreciate that. You knew I was going to come after you for that.
I knew you would appreciate this. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I had to work hard for that one.
I'm sure that person will love to sit in for you.
Yes, they will. You'll enjoy her.
Okay, great. My last point is, and it's nowhere on any of the resolutions, but I know that for my daughter who's just getting ready to fly tomorrow, a lot of the airplanes are now requiring a COVID-free test in order to be able to fly. Now, the only reason why I bring this up is I know that there's a couple of apps that are available now. Common Pass, I think, is one, and a couple of others, in which a person can indicate on their smartphone whether or not they've been tested and if their test is negative. Do you know if anything's come from the governor's office, yes, requiring any of that kind of information?
Not that I am aware of. We were usually in touch with the governor's office at least a couple times a week, and I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, because I was just wondering if it's going to affect like restaurants and stores and things like that, if people are going to be getting their vaccines that they can prove that they've gotten them. So I was just wondering.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay.
we could ask.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. And to Tom, here we go. There you are. Tom, you there?
All set now?
All set, sir.
How you doing, Tom?
Hey, guys, Happy New Year. Congratulations, President Juan, and, or Council President Juan, yeah. And also Tom, there he is. Congratulations, Tom. I have first of all, I do have the URL to register for the vaccine if you would want to jot it down. It's covid19.nj.gov/vaccine. I'll say it one more time. covid19.nj.gov/vaccine. So I thought maybe that would be helpful. It's a great idea. The other question I have is there any way that the water bill that you send us could be more understandable as to how you arrive at the final amount due? I mean, I know there's current water sewer. I mean, the flat rate is the flat rate. But the other multiplier, even if you could put the multiplier in brackets or something, so you can see how you get to the total that says total amount due. Just a suggestion on the water bill. And if you can give us a little history at some point on the water situation, when we switched, why we switched, that sort of thing. My memory doesn't serve me right now, so it goes back a ways, I think. And I think that would also be helpful. And that's it.
Okay. Thanks,
Have
Tom.
a great day. Thanks for what you're doing.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. And John Walsh, coming to you. Go ahead.
Hi, John.
Hi, how are you? Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
I just have I guess a big question, and I'm surprised no one else has brought it up. There's been articles written today about the Belmar First Aid ceasing operation in March, and I just would like to know what information you have on that, and what are we looking into past March? I mean,
well, I could tell you this, that we have just received the letter. We're in negotiations with their attorney, Ken Pringle. It was a surprise to all of us that we just got the letter, and we're working on something, but I can guarantee you this: we will have emergency medical services on April 1st.
Okay.
But you know, the first aid squad has been in its inception for over 90 years. The last thing that we want to do is see them close up. We have such great members on there. I just can't believe that they would like to see it closed and be sold off. The borough is absolutely willing to work whatever we could do. Some of our offers were to take over the paid department and bring them in so that the borough's handling some of the paid issues. But I could tell you this, we're going to work the best we can with them. I would like to talk to the members. I mean, there has been so many donations to run the first aid from everybody in Belmar. Belmar has supported the first aid for all these years, and they were one of the first aids to come. And the last thing that we want to do is see it be sold off piece by piece, and being houses built and all that. I mean, we have such great members, and I'd like to talk to every one of them. We just got the letter, so we've been in discussions with our attorney and to see exactly what we're going to do. But make no mistake about it, we will have emergency medical services in Belmar by April 1, no matter what happens.
all right, thank you. If you could just keep us all posted, I'm sure
Yeah, we will.
myself and others are very concerned.
It was a shock to us as we got the letter yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon, I believe. Yeah, it was yesterday afternoon we got the letter.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. One moment. And to Linda.
Linda Sharkus, 4th Avenue.
Hi, Linda. Welcome back.
Good to be back. So I want to ask, Ed, as you talk about all those new departments, who will be heading up HR for the borough? Is that,
That would be Samantha. She's part of the financial team. She'll be under the umbrella of the financial team. And just to give you a quick overview of why this was done, the reason why we updated everything after we were taking a look at it. Each hiree that we have for all the departments now that we have in place, if anything ever happens as far as bumping rights or anything, because some employees are so important to us and they get hired for specialized fields, the way the whole department was set up, no matter who was last hired would be the first to hire to go. And, you know, those were one of the things that some of the hirees are in specialized fields. So when we did talk to civil service, they said that we were left wide open because, you know, if we needed Samantha, just to take her as an example, who's in HR, replaced Kathy Enriquez. She's doing an unbelievable, great job for us. She comes under the financial team, but if somebody on DPW had to be let go for whatever reason, Sam might have been one of the ones that had to be let go first because she was last hired. So to put all these in place lets the borough operate without having those kind of worries. And if we hire people in specialized fields that, you know, they know they're secure. But yeah, Sam Walters, right?
Mhm.
Is in charge of our HR department, and she's doing an excellent job.
that's great. Is that posted so all your employees know who she is and who they can turn to if there's a problem?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yep.
That makes me very happy. Thank you very much. I have a big smile on my face. Since you can't see it, I'll just let you know.
Okay. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you so much, Linda. And seeing no more hands.
April.
Okay, can I have a motion to close the public session and adjourn the
Hey,
meeting?
Bijou, where are you?
Oh, motion?
Look.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. And
Happy New
let's
Year.
look forward to a good 2021.
Good night, all. Thank you.